Are you watching me right now? Are your eyeballs on this? Right here? Well, if your eyeballs are on this, you might notice that there's something missing right here. As we said in Discord, Mac is having a mental health day today, so it'll be just me filling the frame. Perhaps I should zoom in so get more of this and less of emptiness. No, it'll be fine. Oh, there's already people here. Oh, you're sweet. Can you hear me alright? I'm doing this by myself, so I don't know if I pushed all the buttons I'm supposed to push. Yes, that's Askefru. Hi, Askefru. Windy Pindy, hello. There's cookies from Aske and Windy and dances and Askefru with the hi to Windy Pindy and then hi and hello and over 1,000%? Mo? What? And Askefru with the whatever that is. Absolute cinema. Windy says damn and Aske says Windy says, I'm not an alien, I swear. Sure, I believe you. I believe you. And Oscar says, yes, Windy Pindy with the stare and Majestic! Hello! Read my message immediately. Can't be here long, hope you have a good stream, Andreas. Hope Mike is taking a good break. Yes, let's hope so. It'll be good eventually. But for now, for today, going live was just a little too much for him. But I won't make any promises on anyone's behalf, but we hope for a more populated Sunday. Maybe even a member stream on Patreon tomorrow. But again, I won't speak on anyone's behalf. And Askefru with the Loke and Askefru with the Max Scream and Askefru with the yes. When the Pindy says yes, we can hear you well. And Terry, hi Terry. Hello R. Are you being a pirate? Hello R. Hello there. And then there's that one I read and Askefru with the confused, Theron, and Askefru with whatever that is, the chill girl. Majestic says, hello everyone, I hope everyone is doing well. Let's hope so. Askefru says, Mac can take all the time he needs, so we will be here when it's ready. Oh, that's sweet again. Windy says, don't call Area 51, please. What? What's that emote? Is it bad that I'm getting me vibes? Especially when I see it from the back. I'm getting like, because that's usually my uniform. Allow me to demonstrate. Usually my uniform, black shirt, headset. I'm like, oops. But yes, agreed. Windy Pindy. Terry says to Windy, only aliens say that there aren't aliens. So Windy says, I have another migraine again. Oh no! That's not nice. Have you tried flying soap? Askefru says, all sorts of laughs. Windy says, well, the guy is very pale with very blonde hair, so he might look bald. Are you calling me bald? Are you sitting there with your little keyboard, your little keycaps and typing Andreas is bald. Because if you are, you're pretty much spot on. I mean, it's getting there anyways. Andreas turned so hard his headphones fell off. What's the only way I know how to turn? It's maximum fabuloso. Winnie says no to Aske's migraine, and Aske says, I tried what? Flying soap. It's a hallucinogenic mushroom. Grows on people's lawns. Maybe not yet, but it happens. And they say it's a promising medication for not necessarily migraines, but people who suffer cluster headaches. But then again, I don't know about these things. And Winnie Pindy says, back laugh. J-Bot, hi J-Bot. Insomnia has struck. Time to watch my favorite 3 a.m. streamers. Aww. Are you in Australia then? Sorry if I forget, but 3 a.m. sounds kind of Australia-ish. Terry says, sorry to hear that, Askefru. Askefru says, I'm struggling hard with typing right now, lol. I have not tried that. Maybe I should. Well, some people say sources claim that psilocybin mushrooms in a non-recreational dose, but a therapeutic dose, has shown promise in treating cluster headaches, or I shouldn't use that word, should I? There's a certain type of headache that has let's not go down that rabbit hole. Let's just say that cluster headaches, psilocybin mushrooms, research has been done. Askefru says, I need to look into better meds for it, because ye old paracetamol ain't cutting it. I'm not supposed to take ibuprofen too much. Yeah, that's the thing with ibuprofen. It has certain side effects that might not play nice with other medications or other types of states of mind. But yeah, I mean, I'm not telling you to go mushroom hunting on your lawn, but I'm saying that. Well, how did we get into this? Interesting start of the stream. I haven't even drawn anything yet. I'm already psychedelic. But yeah. We're drawing you guys as rainbow things. J-Bot says, yep, that's Australia-ish indeed. Well, good day, mate. Or should I use the C word? That's more of a greeting down there, isn't it? I won't, but I'm glad you're here, insomnia or not. If you're gonna have insomnia, I'm happy to hear you spending it with us, or me today, but yes. So it's so good knowing that there's one of you in every corner of the earth. Viewers from India, Turkey, South America, like Argentina, Brazil. There's Oregonites, there's Australianites, United Kingdomites, Swedemites, all over the place. That's a very nice feeling. So, last time, on the previous episode of We Draw You Guys as the rainbow or pride themed things, we drew rice. as a metal band singer with ace hair going. And indeed we did. And the next ticket is according to my cheat sheet here, it is Parker O. Ellis, who wants to be a werebear, pansexual colored fur. Werebear. It's like a werewolf, only slightly more ursine. I think we can make that happen. Let me just Google some references. Dungeons and Dragons thing, isn't it? Yeah. So basically an anthropomorphized bear or whale. So, pan-colored fur. Can and will do. Let's see. Parker O. Ellis. Terry says, I find the music a little loud. Oh, Windy says, I sent some cookies and donuts over to you both, Aske and Mac. Because Andreas could also get one, I guess. No, don't mind me. Oh, hi Patch, and thank you Patch. Already time for the blowies, huh? Well, I'm immensely grateful. You reached a new sub goal. Thank you, Patch. If Mac's not here, I'll do double blowy for you. Wow, that harmonized really beautifully. Thank you so much. I'm glad to see you, Patch. Glad to see you. Patch, I can't stay. I hope this makes up for it. Oh, either way. You are most valued and most appreciated, if you're here or not. But thank you, I am so grateful. Oh man, 5 gifted subs. Thank you for messing up my reading order of things. That's the most beautiful and welcome interruption I could have hoped for. You sweetie pie, you. Let's see. Terry says, I find the music a little loud compared to your voice. Could be me though, having a headache from listening to neighbors fixing a leaky pipe all day. Hearing up the walls was so loud. Oh, you know what? That is no problem. I'll put it down to about there. And you tell me how you feel about the sound. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Patch. I see your name there. All big and beautiful. Oscar says, I'm going to look into this mushroom theory. Please do. Again, I'm not a medical profession. I'm just reiterating things I've heard on the internet. Which again, internet is a place. Period. The internet is a place. Literally says, hi literally. I have been struggling all day today. When I got home I was struggling with the brain, holding things I meant to put down, putting things down I meant to bring to me, forgetting what I was doing. That sounds very migraine-y though. That's a very... sounds like a migraine coupled with ADHD, to be honest. But yes, it sounds very brainy. Windy Pinny says, what are you drinking? With the rainbow eyes. I am drinking this. I'm taking guesses. What do you think this is? It is in an IKEA glass. Don't quite remember what it's called, but it's got a slightly grey tint to it, but it's an IKEA glass. And it has something delicious in it. Let me see your guesses. I was staring real hard at the S and the D on the keyboard a minute ago, trying to remember how to spell so. Oh yeah, that sounds very migraine-y. But then again, I have limited experience with that. But that whole thing where commonplace. I've had some migraines in the past. Mine are mostly confusion and visual anomalies, like I get old-fashioned TV static or like sort of vector lines in the middle of my vision, and I have to just close them until it goes away. But the confusion is kind of there. I remember not being able to tie my shoes because I forgot how to tie my shoes. Terry just cheered 4 bits. Thank you. And I'm piloting this ship. I'm captaining this ship alone today. So if I miss some of you guys, my apologies. Thank you so much for the bits. Windy Pindy says, oh man, that sounds horrible. And literally says, I won't be here for too long. I have some packing to do, just taking a break and eating. Yay! Mwah. Sorry. I got confused there. I got a thing and I was thankful and I said, mwah. But yes, enjoy your break and your eating, and no worries. I'm glad you popped by either way. And there's Patch with the subs. Thank you for the 5 gifted subs, Patch. You are beautiful. Or to quote a certain item in Elden Ring, you're beautiful. Also, Windy with the 10 sub. Again, since Mac's not here, I'm gonna have to double blow it just to cover all the bases. Thank you! I haven't even started drawing yet, and you're already being sweet. Thank you so much. And I see you there, Oscar. This is part of this getting ADHD overwhelmed. Yeah! Yeah! I'm not gonna be able to do anything. In a good way. Wendy says, Patchy! And Patchy says, I cannot stay. I hope this makes up for it. Yes, yes it is. It does. You beautiful Scottish man, you. Well, according to your accent in that moment anyways. Terry says, the Lord strikes again. Thank you, Lord. And there's a patch heart. And Jabo says, many thanks, my patchy friend. Yeah, I need to see some love. It sounds so weird. I don't know why it sounds weird when I'm alone. I'm gonna need to see some love in chat. Chat sounds so streamery. But I'm gonna need to see some love in chat for Patch and Windy Pindy. I want to see dino dances and hearts and rainbows and explosions of joy. However you want to express that. And Jbot says, many thanks. Jbot says, many thanks, my patchy friend. And Perry says, no, I think the music is perfect. Thank you, Andreas. Oh, you're most welcome. Oscar uses Patch heart, and then Patch heart, and then Patch cuddle duck. And literally still says orange juice, And Windy Penis is Fanta or Solo Soda. And J-Bot says, my guess is a tea of some variety, maybe a vitamin juice. And then Askefru says, oh yeah, it's a migraine for sure. Yeah, Askefru was right. This is a migraine. 10 points for Askefru. I've had a lot. No, on a serious note, this is my home brewed. I don't know if I should call it a ginger ale or a cider, because it has both apples, pears, and ginger in it. And during the ferment, there was a lot of ginger. It was basically just ginger notes and flavor. But now that it's fermented out completely, it's more like an apple cider with a touch of ginger to it. But either way, delicious. 4 bits from Terry, thank you. Oh, you earned a hype chest. Open to see your. Okay, let's open. Let's see here. I don't know what that is, but it's a purple-haired someone doing this. Choo choo, mother lovers. Oh, that's nice. Thank you, Windy. Thank you so much for supporting our community. And then is ADHD overwhelmed? No, I'll never. I resemble that remark. Wendy says, it was cheaper today, so why not throw someone at you guys? Aww. Well, if you're gonna throw them away anyways, I really appreciate you throwing them at us. And then Terry with the cool cat. And Askefru with the dances and the hearts and the hearts and the dances, and then Terry with the hearts and the dances, and Window with the dino dance and the hearts and the mod love, yes, for Patch, and Askefru with the rainbow screen, and Terry with the rainbow eyes, and Window Pinda with the rainbow, and Jay with cheers, and then love and love, and choo choo from us. And Terry says, if you made a drink, you can also name it. This is George, my drink. And Jay says, Jeremy the Juice. I see what you're getting at, and let's name it. Chelsea. Yeah, Chelsea. Not too sweet, a little bitter. Oscar says the drink should be named in memory of Jeff. Yeah, I mean, I can go with that too. Chelsea, parentheses, in memory of Jeff. You have too many F's in that Jeff though. It's only one F in Jeff. Windy Pindy says, then I shall name my fizzy drink made with soft and sparkling water. Spicy swamp water. I like it. Spicy swamp water. I too, when I have soft, like to add sparkling water to make it into an exciting swamp. Electric Terry says, who's Jeff? You wrote it right, or spelled it right. Oscar says, I blame the extra F on my grain. Yeah, it happens. Terry says, who's Jeff? Jeff is the fruit fly that has been plaguing us while we were streaming. Yeah, that's all you need to know about Jeff. That's the saga of Jeff. Literally says, instead of Jeff or Jeff, it could be Jeff. It could be, but it isn't. We follow very strict spelling rules here in this environment, as I'm sure you can tell. Now, How long have I been on?
I've been on for
almost half an hour. I haven't made a single stroke of drawing. You guys are too interesting of conversationalists. There it says, oh, I thought the fruit fly was Steve. No, Jeff. It can't be named just Jeremy, because that's Rice's window spider. Yeah, no. Jeremy is someone else. That is a French spider. He prefers it if you pronounce it Jeremy. Sorry for the AC, by the way. It's just, it got a little hot in here. Windy Penny says, I can thank my friend for showing me that trick to make your own soda. Works well when I crave soda. Just grab sparkling water and some local saft. And there you go. It's delicious. Especially if you get the, I don't know if you have like a carbonation machine. But if you don't, you can get the Prima lavpris vann med kullsyre 1,5 liter naturell. For a very reasonable price. Now let's see. Where bear? And as you might assume, there's going to be some, what's it called? I'm gonna have to prioritize between drawing and redrawing. And right now I'm doing the drawing. So the redrawing is going to have to take the back seat. Why are feet so hard? Oh, and by the way, I was instructed to give all of you, including you, especially you, a big hug from Mac. So here you go. Have this big hug from Mac. Just for you, and you, and you, and you, and you, and all of you. Oh, and there's the Windy Penny with the virtual hug. There you go. Oh, and Oscar Fru too. Oh. Just for you, and you, and you. We're all hugging Mac back, says Oscar Fru, and hugs back from Terry. And Windy says, hugging you all too. We have a bear silhouette now, so let's do a quick... Oh, and Terry with the hug. Aww. And still... Oh, you guys, you're so sweet. Now let's see if I can catch up. Oscar says it's been a very hot... It's been a very hot today. Are you turning into Mario? I'm blaming that on the migraine as well. It's been a very hot today. It's you, Oscar Fru. But yes, agreed. It's sort of on the precipice of raining. but it's been very warm, very nice weather, but moist. Silas is currently drinking orange soda and eating chicken nuggets. Wendy Penny says, I wrote sofa instead of soda. I think I need to check my eyes. Maybe we all do. I mean, I know I have to, because I mean, I wear contacts and I'm not too dissatisfied with them, but sometimes this left eye has some problem focusing, so it might be time to reconfigure my prescription. Terry says sparkling water with apple juice is Germany's #1 non-alcoholic drink. Apfelsaft. Apfelsaft. That's how you pronounce it, right? Oscar says to Silly, I want nuggets. Nuggets are great. Alicia Silly says Oscar is 20. It's 20, so there's more than enough for everyone here. It's 20? With degrees? That's not a lot. Oscar says to Silly, cookies, and then there's hugs. Oscar says, aw, hugs back, hugging Mac back, yes. And Silly says, once stream is done, you better go hug Mac. I plan on it. Don't you worry about it. Says, tell him I love him. Will do. Oscar says, I'm just sitting here laughing at myself and my brain issues. Aww. Well, better to laugh at them than to cry, right? I mean, it's not nice when the old noggin doesn't exactly do what you want it to. And I count myself very blessed. Since I haven't had whenever I've had a migraine, I've never had the pain kind. I've only had I don't know how to describe it. It's sort of a pain, but it's like something grips my brain, but not necessarily in a painful way, more like a pressure way. And then in the middle of my vision there's like geometric shapes keep on shifting, and then they sort of spread out to my periphery over time, then it goes away. But luckily I've heard some horror stories about how painful migraines can be, and I'm counting my blessings that I haven't had that sort of pain. And Terry says, how's to Askefru? And Askefru says to Terry, I'm gonna look at the other screen for that. I can't even see. Oh, it's the hugs. I see. 3 hugs to Terry from Aske. And Sila says, 20-piece nuggets. Oh, that's a lot of nugget. You're lucky. And Aske says, if I didn't have a migraine, I'd go to Burger King and get nuggets. Well, maybe when the migraines lift. When the migraine lifts. Terry says, best pronunciation of Apfelsaft that ever graced my ears. Thank you. I'm glad you like my German. Aske says, crying makes the head hurt worse. At least I don't feel like I need to throw up. Oh no, are you crying? Oh. Here you go, Aske. Have a big hug. And a hug like this too. At least I don't feel like I need to throw up. Aww. This is aura pressure. Oh, for what I was describing. Yeah, that sounds right. And so it says kaleidoscope migraine, or however you spell it. Your guess is as good as mine on the spelling, but I understood what you mean. I've had auras with my migraines, but it's not an every time thing, thankfully. And no, I'm not crying. Oh, good. So this is what I said about the migraine is a joke. Kaleidoscope? You know, that's not a bad way of describing it. It is very kaleidoscope-like. Like you have in the middle of your field of view, there's like triangles and geometric shape that shifts. Then they move out like a fan towards your periphery. It's kind of messed up. And Oscar says, you said laughing is better than crying, so I said crying makes it worse. Oh well, then as long as you're laughing. Now, let's see. Can I add some fur to this Werber? Werber. Yeah, I'm feeling a little amputated without Mac, but we can make this happen. I'll do some drawing or some painting, and then I will do some reading. Yeah, that'll do. That'll do. You all getting bear vibes from this, right? Yeah. Very to me. Don't know what about these feet, but come on, they're feet. No one knows how to draw feet, right? That's just a myth. Oscar says, like a bokeh photo filter. Sort of, but only that there's bokeh happens in the background when this thing I'm describing is exactly where I try to focus. That's where the hot spot of the hallucination or whatever you could call it is. And literally says Werber. And Kim says, heyo! And speed read. Okay, I will read your next sentence so fast you can't even realize what I said. Yeah, I read that so fast. You have no idea how fast. If you speed, if you take that, if you clip it and slow it down, you would see that I said tradition, but I said it so fast. I sped through it, as you might say. Ask this, I've had the static, like old TV with no channels aura, and the flickering light lines aura, and other kinds too. One where my eyes color perception changed. That was fun. The road I was driving on at the time turned purple. Aw, that sounds almost fun if it wasn't for the horribleness of it. I also get the fuzzies or numbness at times, often in my fingers. Yeah, I had that. Usually when I get the migraines that I mentioned, I also get sort of a I guess you could call it fuzziness at the end of the limbs, like the feet and the hands. And so sly, so shy. That's a mouthful. Sly, so shy. Says love, and then penguin, then Askefrikju. And says my room and bed is so barren, putting things in boxes. It's a good feeling though. It's sort of like a liminal space where it's like, this is my familiar place. It's been familiar for so long, and now it's transitioning into something new, and you're on the precipice of a new everyday. And that's sort of a fricked up feeling in a good and bad way. Kim says to ask, I call that nerve damage. It could be nerve damage too, but in the case of the migraines, it's just migraines. It's not a damage thing, it's just a migraine thing. But it could be nerve damage if we experience those things. Then I'll skip through clip tradition. Well, I'm glad you're keeping up with the traditions, Kim. I'm so glad. Silly says, yeah, in the new place, my parents are going to be scared of me sleepwalking at night for a week or so. That's fun. Sleepwalking is fun. Sort of fun, anyways. And Askefru says to Kim, feeling comes back when the migraine or aura leaves. Yeah, it's not a permanent thing when it comes to migraines. It's powerful when it happens, but thankfully, it's only temporarily affecting you. Now, let's see. Can we do some rendering? Should we do some rendering? Or should we go pee? That's the real question. I think maybe we should go pee so that we can get back to rendering and not worrying about having to pee. Let's do that. Let us, if you will allow me, I will have myself what the professionals call a bio break, aka urine. BRB. that you? Oh, it is you. Hi there. So happy to see you. I'm back. And Oscar, I did. Max says hi and mwah and hearts and hugs. Oscar through says, I didn't hear what you said about the purple road because I was clipping. Have we been talking about a purple road? Are you hallucinating again? Because I don't remember saying that. Then again, maybe I did. So it says, I will stay on the second floor, though the stairs aren't that long. They can lock my door at night. What? What? Your parents gonna lock you in your room at night? What sort of Harry Potter shit is this? Though the stairs aren't that long and they can lock my door at night. Well, if you have problems with sleepwalking, maybe that's not a bad idea. Let's get rid of the said. Yes. So it says pee break, and when it says pee break dance, and check on Matt while you're gone, I did so. And Kim says, oh, I missed most of the combos, so I didn't know about the migraine. Yeah. And Silly says, dance. And Oscar says to Kim, it's okay, I have headaches a lot. Should probably get it checked, but yeah, you should get it checked. You haven't you gotten it checked? Although I do recognize and realize that it is sometimes troublesome to have your GP or your doctor take you seriously when you come in with vague pains and ailments. Doctors are way more helpful when you come with broken bones and things you can see on x-rays or blood tests. Silly with the dance and move. Let's not forget. And Windy Pindy with the whatever that is. And Oscar says, "Aw, so precious." So it says the door has a lock on both sides and the key looks old but fancy. That's the good kind, that's the haunted kind. I like that. It looks like it comes straight out of a pirate tale. Then you know you're doing alright. And Oscar says, I mentioned color perception making the road purple. To your doctor? Or just in general? And so it says, considering the house was built in the early 1900s. Ripe for hauntings. Oscar says, no, to you in chat a minute ago. Oh, didn't hear what you said about the purple road. Oh, right. Yeah, what did I say? Let's rewind. Yeah, no idea. In one ear, out the other. But, yeah, something. I'm finding that it's difficult to draw and think and all those things at the same time. But I'm doing my best. I'm sure you will indulge this old man his dotage. Wendy says, yeah, I went to my GP, a stand-in, since my actual GP is currently away. With my cotton head, an exhaustion issue, she thinks it's just metabolism. Yeah. Don't get me started. Vague symptoms, especially when it comes to symptoms in the stomach area or the head area. If it doesn't show up on a blood test or an x-ray, it's not great. Laska says, ha ha ha, I just wanted to remember that I talked about it and to stop gaslighting me, lol. We were talking about what? I'm confused for real now. I don't mean to gaslight you, but are you sure we talked about something or did you just make it up? No, I'm sure we talked about it. I'm just missing the context. Wendy says, we support the old man on stream. Thank you, child. Back in my day when we tried to stream, we had to upload and download uphill both ways. Full duplex, we called it. But yeah, I'm doing my best. Thank you for supporting me. Askefru says to Wendy, my preferred GP is really good actually. She's fairly newly examined, I believe, but she really listens to my concerns. I think she's of the no harm in checking variety. You know what? I don't want to generalize, and I don't want to, as we say in Norway, dra alla over en kam, but in my experience, younger doctors are better at their job because their education is more up to date, but second, they're more of a they're less set in their ways. Because I can imagine if you see 50,000 patients over a 40-year period, and you see a lot of things where, I don't know, I don't want to speak ill of anyone, but let's just say my experience and my observations when it comes to doctors is that younger doctors are more up to date and they're far less likely to hand wave away and say, you know, to exaggerate for effect, but to say, oh, that's hysteria, you should have 2 units of cocaine on their vibrator, and you know, it's yeah, humans aren't made to live in the sort of world we live in right now, and I think it's good that some doctors realize that there's a lot of things that you don't necessarily exactly know what's going on, and You can kind of tell when you see someone new where they're not going to take you seriously. They're just going to put you on ibuprofen and have you wait for a month. Then there's some that's more like Askefru said, better check and find out. And if it's nothing, great, but at least then we've checked. Windy says, I adore mine. This one seems nice too, but she doesn't know me like my actual GP does. Yeah, history is very important. You gotta know patient history. Because in many cases, you come into a doctor and you answer, you know all the questions they're gonna ask, and you have all the answers already. And you gotta spend 2/3 of the session just going through, we checked that in 2019. Oh yeah, we checked that last year. Yeah, have the blood works. It's like this. You don't need to do that again. Because they're not going to read your file. They're going to look at the headlines, maybe, if you're lucky. But that's the value of having a doctor that's been with you for a while. I mean, even they will forget you, because, let's be honest, they have hundreds of patients, but they will also sort of remember you, and when you put them back on the right track, they will be like, oh yeah, I remember. We did these things, we checked that, and it's very valuable. And again, I don't want to speak down on doctors because they're very important and they do a great job, and in a lot of cases, those basic questions they ask, I'm sure that 50, 60, 70% of all ailments will be caught by those initial questions that they ask every time. But when you end up in the situations where those things aren't solved by ibuprofen, then it becomes tiresome when you have to start all over with a new doctor. Anyways, what were we talking about? I feel like I'm ranting. Old man yells at clouds. Werebear, that's right. Werebear. This was Parker O. Ellis. Windy Opinion says, that's how my GP is. Most people would look at my file and go, it's just your loose knees, you're fine. When I injured my knee over a year ago, she just checked, then went, yeah, I'm sending you to the hospital to check it out properly. That's how I found out a tiny piece of bone had broken off. Yeah, I mean, exactly. In 50% of the cases, I'm sure they would have been right based on their experience. But to assume everyone then has the same case, that's where you end up with a not so great doctor experience. So yeah, same. Check everything if you need to. I mean, I never had a GP that I disliked, but I really like her as a GP. My old GP was an older lady and she was amazing too. She no longer works at my healthcare center though. The healthcare center that I'm assigned to is actually really good and pretty well known to have good doctors and nurses and other healthcare professionals that really listen. That is so valuable. So very valuable. Windy Opinion says, one silly thing is that doctors often believe I remember everything about my first knee surgery. Sir/ma'am, I was 9 years old back then. Yeah, I mean, that is a stark contrast to you're supposed to remember details from you were 9-year-old, but they're not supposed to remember details from when you were visiting them last, right? You were there 3 weeks ago, and they ask you, okay, so you had an x-ray? You ordered the x-ray! Why are you asking me? Anyways. Doctors are important. They do a great job. Sometimes they need a little help. Windy Penny says, Floofy Werebear! Yay! And Oscar says, let's also remember that the healthcare professionals also have a protocol they need to follow, which includes asking questions. Yes, you are not wrong. You are not wrong at all. But sometimes you can tell when it's a protocol thing, and you can also tell it's a we didn't bother to read up on your file before you came into my office sort of situation. Oscar says they may also ask the same questions to see if there's consistency to your health story. Again, very valid, but there comes a point where that becomes less valid and more of a are you really gonna ask me that? Really? Really? But then again, I'm just a dum-dum with a pencil. What do I know about medical profession? That is not something I should opine too loudly about. All I'll say is that you know what? I'm grateful. There are people out there that decide that their life's work will be to help others be healthy. And if there are annoyances along the way, so be it. I live in a country where healthcare is free, and I generally feel I have a value as a human being, so I should be careful when criticizing the system as to not sound ungrateful or that I would like it to change into, let's say, a privatized model. Parker Ellis says, agreed. Oscar says, also, sometimes they actually don't have time to really read into your file, which is a system problem rather than a doctor problem. Yeah. I mean, they have their time and they have their what's it called? List of patients that they need to get through. By all means, I see when it could be short. Parker Ellis says, "Thank you, Windy Pindy." Oh, Parker, it's you. I'm drawing you as we speak. Sorry, it's just me today, so I'm a little torn between. Not torn, but my attentions are a little divided. I spent a lot of time on this werebear and trying to formulate coherent sentences and reading chat. Parker says, "Thank you, Windy Pindy." And Windy says, "Sometimes they need guiding. I got nothing against doctors and healthcare professionals, but I have run into some bad ones. There's always bad ones. Bad plumbers, bad doctors, bad cops, bad bankers. I also have one who... Oh! Thank you, Boomble. Thank you for subscribing with Prime. That is so nice. Thank you for appreciating us. Double blowy on behalf of Mac and myself. Thank you. Sometimes they need guiding, says Windy. I read that one. I have also one who now look away when he sees me because he hates my ass. Oh, you have ass-related troubles? Or are you talking about hates your ass as in standing for you? The whole of you. I'm kidding, I know what you mean. Scream at elderly people in my care and this tiny anxiety-ridden girl will forget she has anxiety. Scream at elderly people in my care. Oh! Your doctor screamed at elderly people? Well, then I can imagine your claws would come out, and good on ya. Fight the good fight. And Pinny says to Parker, you're welcome. And Wendy says, I mean, at least we have cheap healthcare. Yeah, that's true. I mean, say what you will about Norwegian healthcare. Mostly all the things I'll say are good, but the fact that the maximum amount I think after $300 or so dollars. Yeah, I think it's after $300 per calendar year. If we pay more than $300, $400, something like that, everything after that is free. So, especially seeing what we learn from our American friends and family, I am ever so grateful that we live in a country with universal healthcare. Ever so grateful. And all my grievances aside, having access to all of this for next to nothing, that completely eclipses any complaint I've ever had with our healthcare system. It's yeah. No more to say about that topic. And Wendy says to ask you true, and then Booble with the Prime subscription. Thank you, Booble. Mwah! And here's one from Mac as well. Mwah! Parker says, no worries, I'll keep short responses. Oh, you go ahead, you rant as much as you want. It'll be what it'll be. I'm happy to have you here, and however much you want to write, I'm happy to read it when I find the time for it. Husky Fruit says, I had to wait for over an hour once to have some blood drawn and to get an EKG done. Once I was sick, I got to see the head nurse instead of doctor because they were overrun. Yeah, I mean, both me and Mac have spent hours in emergency room waiting rooms, but I mean, 5 hours to have a broken leg treated and then have 0 death afterwards. Like, yes, we were miserable waiting for the x-rays and for the cast and for the whatever have you, but to know that we can actually seek help without being afraid of, okay, is this gonna ruin our lives forever? Are we gonna be hundreds of thousands of dollars in debt? I mean, our grievances become so small in comparison that it's just, yeah, however many hours you want me to wait in a hospital, I'll do it as long as it's, you know, medically safe. Just give me a cup of coffee and I'll just sit there staring into the void for hours. If it means I'll get treated in the end. And Boomble says, is Mac okay? And then Askefru says to Boomble, Mac is having a day off for his mental health. Yes, I'm sure Mac will be okay. He just needs to disconnect and not engage in anything at the moment. And he sends all his love and hugs to you. And we'll be back when we will be back. And if need be, I will fill in the blanks until then. Thank you for your consideration. I'll pass it along. And then Boomble says, huge hug for Mac. Oh, I'll bring it. I'll pass it on. I'll what's it called? I will pay it forward. No, I'll pass it on. Yes. And then Parker Ellis goes, surprise Pikachu. And Wendy says, he wasn't my doctor, he was my mom's, and was also the doctor looking over elderly in a care/rehabilitation center. Yelled at an old lady for being confused. That pissed me off. And also the same guy who ignored my mom's health when it's found she had a stroke, then acted like, you should have come to me. He looks away because he knows I'm her daughter and that I don't like him. You know what? That sucks. And yes, from personal experience, some healthcare professionals are set in their ways, and the things that were valid for them 40 years ago, they just regurgitate that, and you can tell that they haven't brushed up on their skills in the last couple of decades. And I mean, in most cases it's probably fine. It's like, okay, you need water, you need paracetamol, and you need rest. And that's fine. In most cases that's fine. And you can get by as a doctor with that. But in those cases where it's not okay to just rest and have paracetamol and water, don't be an ass about it. Be like, okay, you're not feeling okay. Then maybe there's something more wrong with you. Maybe we should take you seriously, and maybe we should communicate that we're taking you seriously. Not like, oh, here comes that person again with their problems. Anyways, I'm not gonna rant about it because we have a good system. And like in all systems, there's a bell curve. You have a good experience, and then you have an average experience, and then you have a bad experience. And it is what it is. Again, I shan't opine where it might not be warranted. See if I can do some drawing before I read some more. Parker O. Ellis wanted to be a werebear of the pan-furred kind. And I'll just get the shape and the form and the texture down, and then we'll talk about colors. Pan colors, to be specific. And I should double check what are pan colors. I mean, I should know, right? I've been drawing at least 10 of you tan colors, but I get confused. Right, so pink, yellow, blue. Gotcha. So like Kotte, only without the black demi parts. Can do. Will do. Eventually. I'll just pick the color from that. When this says, Jesus, that was a long text. I'm sure Jesus will forgive you. When this is departure, I will keep it short. Meanwhile, writes a novel. No, this is a safe space. Feel free to write whatever you want. And meanwhile, me. Yeah, I figured. Parker says, I sadly live in Texas in the United States, air quotes. Get me out of here. Aw, that sucks. You haven't been dealt the best of hands. But then again, I see a lot of things from the US these days with the no kings marches and the general shift towards, you know, not whatever you have going on right now, which gives me some hope. And don't give up. You have value. And your voice matters. And don't forget that. Might feel hopeless, but I believe sincerely that you matter and your voice matters and how you use it matters. So bring with you love and compassion. And let's hope things work out. And Parker is just writing emoji. Oscar says, oh yeah, the ER waiting room can be terrible. Times I'm talking about having to wait and stuff were for times that I had called and gotten an appointment. Yeah, that's the thing though, because the ER, I've unfortunately had to visit the ER more than once, and they have like a sliding scale of importance. Like they go like, are you dying right now? Okay, no, never mind. Then you go to the bottom of the waiting list. And people keep coming in and they're ranked by, okay, this guy is ODing, he needs attention immediately, or this guy is bleeding out, he needs attention immediately. But I remember once, I don't remember the exact number of hours, but I think it was like 5 hours. I had a spinal disc prolapse, so I couldn't stay still. I couldn't sit down or lie down or stop moving because it was too painful. The only thing that slightly mitigated the pain was being in motion, like walking. So I spent hours walking back and forth like a 5-meter room. I must have looked like an absolute crackhead. Sorry my French, but I must have looked like I was super high on meth or something like that, but I literally couldn't sit still because it was too painful, so I had to move. So I walked. Not to mention the hours I spent walking back and forth at the hotel before going to the ER. And but they were like, yeah, no, this guy bleeding out is more important. Obviously, because I wasn't dying, but it was just in a whole lot of pain. And it's... don't know where I was going with this. Just airing out old injustices. No, not injustices. What I meant was to say that there's a sliding scale of dying to, you know, painful but they'll live. And that is constantly shifted when new people come in, and I mean, that makes sense. It should be like that. It just sucks when you're the one with a very painful but non-lethal injury. I once took a friend to the ER and he had broken all fingers, like, not fingers, but all the bones on his wrists and both hands, like all the bones that connect the wrist to the fingers, like over here. And he had to wait because it wasn't dangerous. Painful, yes, but not dangerous. That's I mean, I understand it, but it sucks when you're the one waiting. Then again, it's free. Only costs you a couple of hours of waiting, so Again, talking and painting. Don't know where I'm going with my conversation with myself. Windy says, this is what I wish I could grab people I know from the US and get them here. Yeah, same. We have friends and family living in the US. It's not great. So do your civic duty and exercise your civic rights when it comes to voting. Parker with a heart for Windy, and Aska says to Windy, sadly that won't help. I wish there was more we could do to set the country right so people wouldn't feel the need to leave. Exactly. So again, exercise your rights and do your civic duty. Vote. Whenever you can, vote. Parker says, no, Windy says, I know it sucks. Yeah, in regards to Vasquez said, agreed, it sucks. And there's not much we can do from over here, unfortunately. But we love you all, and we hope the best for you. Parker says, oh, I want to live in a rural town in Norway either way, even if the country was safe to be in. I mean, rural Norway has its charm. Then again, having grown up in rural Norway, there's always a little asterisk, isn't there? I mean, it's safe, very safe, but it's also very homogeneous. Ethnically, culturally, politically, it's, let's say, it's safe in all the meanings of the word. And as soon as I became old enough, I moved away from rural Norway because of my proclivities and my tendencies and my attractions to diversity and culture and the arts, etc., etc. But when it comes to living a peaceful life and not being bothered, yeah, rural Norway is great. Yeah, that's it. That's all I have to say about that. Bumble says, I 100% understand. We all got to take breaks. Tell him to take as long as he needs, and we'll still be here to share our love with him when he's ready. Yeah, that's for Mac. I will be sure to pass along your message, Bumble. Thank you. Aski says to Parker, well then. And Wendy says, so many pans in the pan gang here. Yeah, the pans represent all the pots and all the pans. We'll cook up a real good breakfast. Aski says, yeah, I can never remember each of the flags and their meanings. Lol. Yeah, me too. I love them all, respect them all, and embrace them all. Sometimes I need to reminder what is what. And when he says, yeah, I have to double check the colors and flags myself often. Yeah, I mean, same. I've been doing at least 5 pan things, I think. Like 1, 2, 3, 4. Either way, I keep forgetting every time. And right now, all I have is a gray werebear. A hunky, buff werebear, but still just gray. So let's pan him up, shall we? Or pan them up. And Kotte, hi Kotte! Oh, I read your message in Discord. I'm so glad you're okay. That could have gone so badly. And thank you for sharing, and so glad. Big hugs from both of us. Glad that you're still here with us and you're unharmed. Kotte says, glad midsommar finaste ni. Glad midsommar. Just popping in to say hi. Still recovering from the car crash yesterday. Yeah. A bit shaken up mentally. I can imagine. Anything else would be weird, really. That's... You're literally being shaken about. But fine physically. Hope you're having a good stream. I'm sitting in a flower field. Singing and drinking into night with lots of friends to celebrate midsummer. I'll post some pics in Discord later. Thank you for stopping by, and I'll have some apple cider / ginger ale in your honor. I'm glad you're safe, and I'm glad you're feeling okay enough to sit in a field and drink with friends. Skål! Askebrew says to Kotte, hugs, have fun, and Wendy says, have a lovely evening, and Wendy says, man, breaking so many bones sounds horrible. Yeah, that was a horror show. He had like titanium pegs sticking out through the skin. I don't know why they needed to do it, but they needed to do like the titanium pegs coming out through the skin, and he would do it like this, and you would see it move, and it was nasty. The unfortunate part is when some people might have bad injuries that aren't visible. That is true. Like, talking about internal bleedings and such, I think they have usually a fairly good checklist. I mean, I'm sure you could fall in between the cracks, but they're trained to recognize, okay, what's more likely to kill you first, I think. Parker Ellis says, I broke one of my bones in hand once. Didn't know it broken until 3 days later. Yeah, same with this story I'm telling. Like, he broke like most bones of his hands. I mean, granted, he wasn't completely sober, but still, like, when I took him to the ER, he had already moved from the location where he broke his hand to, like, he took a taxi and a train somewhere, and then he came back, and then we went to the police station. Different part of the story. We went to the police station to press charges against people who committed violence upon him. But that's not the point of this story. But the thing is, it was like, I don't remember the exact number of hours, but it was like way after it happened, and he was still functioning, sort of. Then went to the ER and had X-rays, and ended up with splints and titanium pegs and what's it called? Plaster of Paris? Cast. That's the word. Cast. Oscar says, Windy Pindy, a guy I follow on Instagram had a motorcycle accident. He broke 19 bones, lacerated his liver, and punctured a lung. Hopefully they realized that that was serious business, though. Hopefully. Windy says, poor guy, yeah. Oscar says, Evan from Evan and Caitlin had appendicitis and almost didn't make it into surgery before his appendix burst. Yeah, that's a tricky one. The appendix, it's weird little vestigial asshole. Not literal asshole, but like I remember it was this summer actually. Mac's brother had his appendix burst. Didn't realize it at the time. Didn't realize the severity of the situation, and he was like, maybe I should go to the ER. And then he shows up, and yeah, immediate into surgery. And it just so happened that the very next day was my birthday, so he was like, okay, I'm not feeling too good, gonna go to the ER. And then had his surgery, and then literal hours later he showed up. And I mean, he told me later that in hindsight maybe he shouldn't have come to the birthday celebration, but he was fine while he was here. He was really tired though afterwards. But yeah, the appendix is a tricky one, because it can go from my stomach hurts to sepsis in like a matter of hours. With corpse, hello, with corpse. And when this is ow, when this is sounds like a Temu Wolverine. Yeah, that was the cheapest sort of Wolverine, because yeah, he couldn't hurt people with those tiny pins sticking up this way. Just imagine Hugh Jackman being intimidating with these tiny little pins sticking out through his skin. Parker O. Ellis. Wait, Oskifru says they probably did the titanium through the skin because the skin on the hand is so thin. Thick or thin? Thin. Probably thin. Yeah, I don't know why they did it, but they had to do it through the skin for some reason. Parker says, is your digital brush a custom brush? Yes it is. It is a custom brush. It's based on a Photoshop brush that I based on another Photoshop brush made by a German artist, I think, named Johannes Voss. Johannes Voss. But yeah, it's a like the texture. I think you might be able to see it in the stream. Yeah, that's the shape of the brush, and I have it to sort of emulate like acrylic paint. Not too crazy with the blending though, because I don't have a fast enough computer for too much of that stuff. But yeah, it was my go-to brush in Photoshop for years, and now I have adapted it to Clip Studio Paint, which doesn't exactly work in the same way, but it's close enough to that where I can make it work. Let's see if we can put some color on this. Oh, gentleman. Well, I'm assuming gentleman, but it might not be a gentleman. It might be a gentle girl or a gentle them. Oscars is too windy. The motorcycle guy is okay now, by the way. It's back to riding and dancing and all of that. Good to know. Thank you for letting us know. And Winnie Penny says, and Oscar says, thin. Yeah, I figured. It's not exactly thick skin here. Oscar says, that's good. Oh, Windy says to Oscar, that's good. And Oscar says to Windy, yay. And Parker says, noted. It's a cute little frog. And Oscar says, I don't know how to do the blending. I need help figuring that out. Is it a brush or a tool? You know what? Since it's only me here and I run the show, let's turn this into School of Brushes with Andreas, your host. No, but I can explain it to you. At least I can explain it to you how it is with me. In Clip Studio Paint, you have certain modes. You have a pen mode, a pencil, a brush mode, and you can customize all the tools however you want. What I use mostly is what I have named Andreas Brush Emulator, or it's like a brush shape that has certain characteristics to how the opacity works and how the coloring works or what have you. So if we say this is the base color and I paint over it with the more orange and I want to blend the two, I have a on my keyboard it's Alt, so the eyedropper is very important when I work like this. So I can have the eyedropper and I can put it down here and I can sample the color, the new color that comes from painting the two on top of each other, and then I can go in and keep on rendering with like half of it. And then same here, pick new colors, continuously picking new colors to, you know, render the in-between step. Because let's do a more jarring color. Let's do like a turquoise. Oops. Let's do a turquoise here. So you have the red and you have the turquoise, and you could do just like a mix between the two by picking the color in between, or you could select the color and you could bump it towards more towards like a yellow. And anyways, bottom line is a brush with a texture and a pen pressure opacity. So where I draw, if I don't push it much at all, it doesn't do much. When I push it a lot, it does all the things. So it depends on how much I push each stroke. And if I push it hard, it covers more. If I push it less, it's softer. And when I need a in-between color, I will press the Alt key and I'll pick a intermediate color, and that will be used to blend in all the things. Same goes the other way. If I go from the dark red up into here, and then I color pick, and the opacity or the translucency of the brush is dictated by how hard I press. It's as it's called in the business, pressure sensitivity, set to whatever property I like. In this case, the property of the brush is opacity. You can have the opacity or the pen pressure set to size, so the harder you press, the bigger the brush becomes. And like in this pen, let's make a big old pen here, make it yellow. And this tool is, see, when I press slightly, it's a small, and then the more I press, it becomes bigger. And then when I push or lighten up, it becomes smaller again. That is when you put the pressure to brush size. But then again, if I switch back to my rendering brush, then it's just opacity. How hard I press does not affect the size of the brush, only the opacity. So how much paint you leave on the canvas. So, and all these things are tweakable however you want to experiment and configure and customize. That is completely up to you, in your hands. But it takes some getting used to, it takes some experimenting, and it takes, frankly, the best thing you can do is download other people's brushes and see how they solved it, and then you'll go, oh, that's how they did it, and they will help you along the way of creating what works for you. Hope that it makes sense. Feel free to post some follow-up questions if you have them. Oscar says, yippies! And Winnie says, I'm back in school again! Yes, you are. Now take your seat, sit still, and don't chew your eraser. I mean, you can if you want to, but would you really want to? Then your mom's just gonna have to buy you more erasers. Oscar says to Winnie Pindi, and so soon after getting out too. Oh, school, yeah. Oscar says, I have the eyedropper tool on a button on my pen. Yes, that's one option. Personally, I don't prefer that, because pressing the button on the pen will slightly shift your pen, ever so slightly, and I prefer the precision of not doing that. So I have it on a keyboard key. But all of these things are completely customizable. If you don't like how something works, 9 out of 10 times you can just figure out how to customize it to your preference. Parker Ellie says, I need to practice my digital art. Well, so do we all. Is this where I plug Patreon? Guys, is this where I plug Patreon? This is where I plug Patreon. On Patreon, we have a Patreon. Let me just do the thing. We have a Patreon, and in the community there we have what we are currently calling the Drawing Club, where I or Mac posts reference images that are curated to be a drawing or painting exercise to help you flex your art skills. So like things like anatomy, texture, color, what have you. That is something that exists there. And if you like, we will give you feedback on what you do, if you ask for it, of course. Not unsolicited, but if you ask for it, we can give you feedback on how to improve your things. Plug over, but I felt like I should mention it since we're creators, if you will, and it comes with the territory that we must plug our Patreon. Askefru says, I need to look into that opacity setting. Mine only changes the thickness of the brush at this point. Yeah, I don't know what application you use to draw, but most drawing applications should have the option to change what your pen pressure does. And it can do both as well in most of them, where if you press harder, you can both expand the size of your brush, but also the opacity or the amount of paint that you put down. And all of these things should be precisely fine-tunable to what works for you. My pressure setting, that's, yeah. Oscar says, Andreas just made a tomato, a strawberry. I wouldn't eat that strawberry if I were you. But you probably said that before I added the blue and the yellow. Windy says, look at Andreas being such a good teacher. Oh, well, I'm glad it's helped. I hope so. Anyways, let's get back to Parker O'Ellis, who wants to be a pan-furred werebear. Oscar says, so it's a brush setting, not a pen setting. Got it. Yeah, it is. The tool in your application is where you set all the things. You probably have pen settings in your. I don't know if you use a tablet or if you use like a Windows Ink or Android or whatever, but all of those settings should be different from the application settings. So the application settings is what you're after. So it's a brush setting, not a pen setting. Got it. Use the eyedropper for in-between colors. Got it. Nice. Thank you for being here for my TED Talk. I think I understand. Thank you. Oh no, you're most welcome. My knowledge, such as it might be, is for you to peruse and use and peruse, use and take advantage of. I think you understand, thank you. And the Blue Independence says, erasers, they're delicious. There's Patreon, and that's because my pen has 2 buttons and they're both very pressure sensitive. In the beginning I struggled because I kept accidentally pressing the eraser button. Yeah, that's the thing. My pen as well has 3 buttons. You have 2 here on my thumb and the eraser on the back side. I rarely use this one, and these I have basically they're non-precision. I mean, if I click one of the buttons, I have color picker, which is fine because it's not something that I need to press while I'm drawing. Because if I press something while I'm drawing, then I lose precision. Because when I draw, I want all my muscles in my hand to go into controlling the tip. I don't want to be doing this at the same time. If I need to press a button while I'm drawing, I prefer to map that to my keyboard and not my pen, because yeah, any pressing of these buttons while I draw is just gonna throw off my precision. Oscar says also Discord. Oh, there's the Discord. Thank you, Oscar. And let's pin this message and put it up there. Bam! We have a lovely community on Discord. If you haven't joined already, it's full of beautiful people like yourself posting beautiful things. We have like art groups, we have gaming groups, and just generally a lovely, friendly atmosphere that is a joy to behold. So if you're looking for a place to be your lovely self among lovely people, our Discord is the place. You can find the link right there. No, there? No, where's the link? I should put up Twitch so I can have. No, it's there. It's there. I see it on the preview now. Right here. There's the Discord. Right there. You won't regret it. People in there, mwah, beautiful, wonderful. Fill your heart with joy. Boomble, hi Boomble, says, I really want to be back at my computer drawing again, but I have a weird mental block around my desk. Because I sit at the desk all day at work and my brain goes into panic. You are at work mode. You have no idea how much I get that. It's terrible. And it's very important, especially if you're a freelancer or work from home. I'm speaking from a throne of authority as if I have this figured out, but I do know that it's very important to separate your working space from your not working space. And some people manage that. Some, like me, I do most of my work and my playtime, like gaming and things, on the same desk. And I can sort of separate the two, but not always. But it's I totally understand what you're doing though, Bumble, where you're feeling like you're at work at your desk. Maybe a change of scenery. You can like, I don't know what your setup looks like, but if you have, I don't know if you draw digitally or like in the sketchpad or something, but go to a park or into the forest, or I don't know, even at the toilets. I have a sketch pad next to the toilet, so instead of doom scrolling while I poop, I can sketch something. That's a way of getting through that art block. Oscar says, and links. Oh, thank you, Oscar. I blame the migraine again from not posting the links before. Oh no, that's okay, no worries. I mean, I forgot too, so I don't even have a migraine to blame. Winnie Pinny says, if I ask for that I would get a where do we begin if I ask for that. I'm lost already. You're gonna have to fill me in on the context. Please restate your statement with context as in reference to what? Parker says, I joined Discord and shared one of my art pieces, my cat, and one of my homemade foods. Yay! Thank you for joining the Discord! And if we haven't gotten around to replying to it, we're slow sometimes, but we will get to you eventually. Husky says to Windy, no, they know where to start with helping. Okay, I'm lost, officially. Husky says, in tablet setting I changed how hard I have to press to get the desired effect. I need to map more of my tablet buttons too. There's a bunch of buttons on the side. I'll get to your immediate message soon, Windy. And I can't really use the keyboard since I have a laptop and no separate keyboard, so I should probably change that. Yes, if I understand correctly. What tablet do you have, by the way, for the record? So we're not talking at each other, or what's it called? So we can be on the same table? No, same page. That's the word. What tablet do you have so we can be at the same page? Windy says, I have to say my art style isn't consistent. That's a big thing I struggle with. It makes it hard to get help with things. Oh no, it's not hard. I can give you all the help you need. Just join the Patreon with no, just kidding. But seriously though, there are certain truths when it comes to art. No matter what style you have, there are some core tenets that I believe in that you should be able to follow and get good results. And with that comes the big bad one, the terrible one, the one everyone hates, and that is art is a numbers game. The more you draw, better you get at it. And the longer you push your skills for each drawing you do, the further you push it past your comfort zone, the more you will learn. So, push comes to shove, it's a numbers game. Someone who draws 10,000 drawings, most of the time they're gonna be a better artist than someone who draws 1,000 drawings. Of course, people learn in different ways and have certain proclivities, and their minds work in different ways. So it's not like a binary thing, like X amount of hours gives you X amount of skills. But push comes to shove. The more you draw, the better you get at it. And style is something that will come to you eventually. But understanding the basics, like how to draw a cube, then how to draw a cube in 3 dimensions, then how to draw a cube and a sphere, and how to draw a cube, a sphere, and a pyramid in 3 dimensions. All of these things are super duper duper important. And they're at the core of everything you do as an artist, is how to construct mentally and physically on the page, how to construct, or how to portray form, how to abstract form. Because again, let's go back to teacher mode. So now you wound me up, now I gotta do this. If I do this, you're gonna say, oh yeah, that's a circle. And if I do this, you're gonna say, ooh, yeah, that sort of looks like a sphere. And if I do this, oh, that looks even more like a sphere, right? And it's just a circle with some scribbles on it. So it's an abstraction of a sphere. I can add like a shadow under it and you'll be like, oh yeah, that looks more solid. And the more you add to it, the more realistic it becomes. You can like do a big brush and you like this and like, ooh, nice. Now you even got some highlights and whatever. But the thing is, the abstraction, you're trying to portray a sphere and you have levels of abstraction and you gotta understand the basic level of this the basic. Why do we have so many difficult words? You have to understand the basic level of abstraction to build upon that, because everything you see can be drawn, and everything you draw has to be seen, either through your physical eyes or through your mind's eye. So it's a numbers game. The more you draw, the more you build your physical. No, not physical. The more you build your visual library, the more you have to pull from when you're supposed to draw something from your head. And yeah, we're back to art being a numbers game. The more things you draw, the more you have experience to draw from when you're trying to draw something else. I feel like I went on a tangent there. I don't even know if that's what the initial question was. I think. Let's read some chat. Boomble says toilet drawings. Yeah, I recommend them. I mean, if you're gonna poop for 10 minutes, why spend that time doom scrolling when you can put your ideas to paper? Parker Ellis says, new idea, toilet paper sketch pad. I mean, I like your enthusiasm, but I see some practical challenges. Because toilet paper is fairly soft, and if you draw on it, I'll probably tear the paper. But if you made toilet paper that is rigid enough to draw on, it wouldn't be a good wiping experience. But I like your energy. I like your ingenuity. Windy Penny says, about the drawing club, getting pinpointers for improvements. I completely forgot what it's called. Critique? Is that the word you're looking for? Askefru says, I use a Huion Canvas 16. I don't know that particular one, so I can't offer any words of wisdom from experience. I'm sorry. But I can look it up. Windy says, I'm already in Patreon. No need to pitch it to me. Oh, thank you so much. But just saying, if you want our opinion on something, if you post something in the drawing club and you ask, what are my shortcomings in this? What are your pointers to improve? We're more than happy to give you pointers and to move you in what we would consider the right direction anyways. Don't want to say that we're necessarily the be-all end-all of art knowledge, but we're more than happy to share what knowledge we have. Oski says to Parker, very affordable and I like it so far. However, it's not a drawing tablet for mobility. It has to stay connected to your PC. Yeah, same with our Wacom tablets. They're PC connected. But with that drawback, it also comes with certain upsides, like being more precise and powerful. Parker says, same as my tablet, but it's an XP Pen Artist 16 second generation. Again, I've just been a Wacom kid my whole life. Back in my day, when we would draw digitally, there weren't anything to choose from other than Wacom. But yeah, no, that was it. It was Wacom. So I just never strayed from that path. But I would love to try something else. Just, if nothing else, just to try something different. Let's see. Husky says, it also comes with all the essential different power cords, pen and pen holder with several replacement nibs, stand, even a glove. Wow, that sounds pretty cool. Wendy says, I hear a kitty complaining in the background. Yeah, that's Faye. She can't come in here right now. I have a job to do. Parker says, I need more nibs and a new glove. You can get those gloves fairly cheaply, like on AliExpress and places like that, or eBay. Like a 5-pack. We used to use them, but kind of outgrew them, I guess. Oscar says to Parker, I was looking at the XP Pen too, but the Huion was cheaper at the time because it was on sale. I would love to try these things because I see commercials and ads for them all the time and have this ingrained thing from 15 years ago, like if you want to be able to draw on screen, then Wacom is the brand to go to. But I'm sure that hegemony has been overturned slightly. Parker says, taking notes, Professor. No, I don't think I've earned the title of Professor, but if you insist. Wendy says, Professor Andreas is on fire, explaining. I mean, if you think so, I'm glad to hear it. The ADHD is on fire, rambling, and the apple cider makes me slightly wibbly bobbly as to where did I start? Where are we going with this? Either way, if you find it helpful, I'm so happy. Oscar says to Parker, even though it came with the glove, I bought an extra one because it has a skeleton print. I mean, what's the point in drawing if you can't look cool while doing it, right? Parker says, I got it when it was on sale for about $250 US. Ah, well, that's a decent price for a drawing tablet. Oscar says to Parker, nice. I like when good things go on sale, yeah. Wendy says, probably critique, yeah. Rain could not even remember in Norwegian, so let me Google it. Well, kritikk høres veldig negativt ut, så critique has more of a, at least in my book, has more of a constructive ring to it. In Norwegian, kritikk, just purely negative. But in English, it's more like a pointing out your shortcomings as to let you know where you can improve. And Oscar says, I wonder what the percentage is in that cider. Well, wonder no more. Not too much. It's 5.6% by volume. So it's like a beer plus plus. I think mine was 300 something USD, including the extra gold and shipping. If there was shipping, I can't remember. That's a pretty good deal. I ain't mad at that. Now, I shouldn't be doing this in this layer, because that's the wrong layer. Let's do it on Parker's layer. Parker Slayer. No, not Parker Slayer. Parker's layer. Now, let's see if we can give him their color. And it was a pan fur. And the pan is the pink, the yellow, and the blue. Should we go top to bottom or split them down the middle? Well, let's go top to bottom. Let's do this. Let's get wild. Speaking of bears. Oh man, I've been over 2 hours live now. I haven't even finished one of you. Goes to show how important Mac is in this context. I gotta choose. I can either read and talk or draw. I can't do both. And don't worry, I'm not ruining all my rendering here. I'm just adding colors on a separate layer above the one I've been rendering on, and then we should change the layer mode to something like, I don't know, overlay or color dodge or something. We'll play around and we'll end up with something cool looking. Yeah, don't mind my silence, just talk among yourselves. Windy Penny says, I have mostly had Wacom before I got my iPad. I got the iPad because of my knee surgery. I used a drawing tablet where you see the screen on the tablet itself. I missed that one. The cord is sort of broken on it. Yeah, we both Mac and I use Wacom Cintiqs, where we have the screen and the tablet in one, so we draw directly on the screen. I used to, well, both of us used to do the thing where we had a what's the word? Or the name rather, the Intuos, the Wacom Intuos line, and we would draw, like the tablet would be here, we were drawing and we were looking at the screen, so there would be a disconnect, like in the motor skills for drawing on the tablet and looking at the drawing somewhere other than where your hand was, and we did okay with that. Sure, I mean, by all means, but when we both moved to actually drawing on screen and having the precision of knowing that you could put down the pen exactly where you needed it, I mean, I think it was, yeah, Mac would start. Mac got a, I think, if I don't misremember, it was a birthday present from his dad, where he got this Wacom drawing tablet, not a tablet, the Cintiq, Wacom Cintiq screen, and where you would draw direct on the screen, and it felt weird to begin with for him and for me also when I started using it, but man, it's so much better once you get used to have the precision. You just go right there, this pixel is where I want to be at. Oh, Mousy! Oh, thank you for letting me know, Oski, through 10 biddies from Chat Bomb. Hi, Mousy. Thank you. Hugs to you from us. It's just me today. Max having a day off, a mental health day, and but thank you so much for dropping by. Good morning or afternoon, morning. Either way, so happy to have you. I'm drawing and I'm talking and I'm reading and I'm all the things, so I'm not quite as on, as the kids say. So thank you for letting me know, Oski, through Shart Mom, says Oski. Did I say Shart Mom? My apologize. See, can't even talk. My apologies. Didn't mean to say Shart Mom. But I'm so glad you're here. Happy to have you. Now let's see if we can make this color layer apply to the layer below it with more of a, let's say, overlay maybe? I mean, that's a start. Let's see. Let's do some reading. Oh, that's not too bad then. Percentage. Yeah, no, it's just like a beer, like a ginger ale. If I seem flustered, it's because of the reading and the drawing and the thinking and the doing, not necessarily the alcohol. Wendy says, I tried to see if I could just buy a new charger for it, but apparently not. Might look into a cheaper one in the future. Oh, for the Wacom? I mean, there's resources online if you have an electronics apparatus, so to speak. They run on specific voltages with very specific amperage needs. But as long as you fit the voltage and the amperage needs, you can use all sorts of power supplies. Just saying. Just if a company says, no, you have to use our stuff, that's just them saying, you have to give us the monies. There are options. Ask Sister Windy, my Huion has full screen. I use it in my bed all the time, though I technically probably shouldn't. I mean, should you use any technology in bed? Especially with batteries and power? Maybe not. But as long as you don't cover the intakes or the exit ports of the fans, probably be fine. But don't cover the intakes or outlets for the air. Wendy says, in regards to that, I do that myself. Yeah, who hasn't enjoyed a good bed session with a complaining laptop or some sort of electronic device that would probably prefer to breathe freely? Wendy says, I'm actually looking at Huion. Never tried it. It would be fun to try it. Parker says, you may use any pronoun to refer to me. That's easier for you. Parker. Parker O. Ellis. What does that ring up? Parker. I'm getting a touch of masculine from Parker, but I'm getting a touch of feminine from Ellis. So, them. I'll put you straight down the middle. Them. And I was giving it with the stare and the stare. And I was giving the clap, 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 and then the shifty-eyed Mac. And when he says, I'm just currently looking at tablets for fun. Yeah, you know what? If I were, let's say I were a YouTuber or someone who makers of tablets and such would send their things to for review, I would love to do like a comparison, because I've been doing digital art for, I hate to say this, but for some of you, longer than you've been alive. And for most of the time it's only been Wacom. So I would love to dip my toes into different flavors of tablets. Askefru with the Andreas. The Tre Andreas. Oh, Three Andreas. Oh, Paco! Thank you for the bit, Paco. Here you go. A double blowy. One for Mac, one for me. That was loud. I hope this microphone cuts out the highest of frequencies. Paco says, with the one bit says, jeg hørte at noen var litt fulle, så jeg kom for å se. Well, aren't you precious? I'm having some cider that I brewed myself, and I might be a little tipsy, but my discombobulation, that's the word, right? Discombobulation stems from having to read and draw and talk and think at the same time. Usually Mac does the reading and the thinking, so all I have to do is the drawing. But yes, there might be an element of inebriation in there. And let's see. Parker says, I got some work done today. Taking a load of tree trimmings to the family land. I'll be cooking a stew with chicken later today. Ooh, sounds like fun. Being out and about, doing yard work, I find that to be very therapeutic. But who doesn't love a good chicken stew? And Oscar says to Parker, ooh, tasty. And Mousy says, with the 10 bits, hugs from us. Hugs to you. Mwah. Thanks for stopping by, Mom. Wendy says, Mousy. And Oscar says, 10 bitties from chat, Mom. And then you have 5 cuddle patches. Well, cuddle ducks. From Patches collection of emotes. And Oscar says, Shark Mom. And I said, haha. And then you have a smoking duck from Parker. And I says, I sneaked in earlier to watch for a minute. Lol, it's better than Shark Mom. And boom, with the 10 bits. Aww, a double blowy from you. On behalf of Mac, with the power invested in me, to blow on both our behalves. Here's to you. Thank you. Father, I crave attention, says Winnie Penny. Okay, let's see. Can I do this? Can I? Oh no, I couldn't. This is my thigh. But I'm not naked. I'm wearing shorts. But let's bring in the girl. Hi girl. Hi girl. Yeah. 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 Come in. There we go. That's a little less thigh revealing. But yeah. See? Look at the people, Faye. Look at the beautiful people. Yay. Yay. Since Faye is keeping me from drawing, let's do some reading. Wendy says, I will struggle to talk, draw, and read, chat. You're doing a good job. I'm glad you think so. Thank you. Master says, seriously, I was thinking exactly that earlier. Aw, thank you. And then Booble with the 1 bit. Thank you, Boomble. Let's do a double blowing for you. Faye will help. Will you help me blow? Thank you for the help, Faye. Oh, and Paco with 30 bits! Thank you! Thank you so much! Oh, where are you going? Where are you going? You just got in here! Oh, was the blowies too loud? Or the blowies too loud? Don't worry, I won't do it anymore. Not while you're here, don't worry. Mouse says to Parker, stew is my love language. Aww. I mean, a stew is like a hug, isn't it? Like warm, tasty, comforting. And Oscar says, Weon! Huon! Huion! Huion? Huion! Huion. Yeah, I'm sure I nailed that. Wendy says, I was looking at Wacom's website to see if they had charges available, but I didn't offer. Yeah, you should look at a non-Wacom site and to just see, like on the back of your Wacom, just check what voltages it needs, like 19 volts and 1 amp. And as long as the the connection is the same, then you should be fine with anything that can provide like 19 volts at 1 amp or whatever. As long as you meet that power requirement, you can use anything you like. It doesn't have to be official. Parker says, I make stew a lot. Stew is delicious. Den pakka with a bit, jeg hørte at noen var litt fulle. You and your Google Translate. Silly Billy. Oscar says, stew is good. And Parker says, ooh, I like the Norwegian blowy. And Parker says, I wish I was having cider with you, my friend. Well, next time we meet, we shall have a delicious cider. And we'll go, skål. Wendy says, it's just in a good mood. Oh, in regards to noen var litt fulle. Oscar says, I've been out and about all day. It's exhausting. Yeah, out and about is a bad place to be. Stay in and unabout. Parker says, I bought a pork shoulder, put a rub on it last night. Now I face the 8 hour of semi-attention to the smoker. Ah, yeah. That's the magic of it. Sometimes we don't do it often, like the last couple of years we've done it like once every year. But when you put that piece of meat, or well, in our case we have usually it's like brisket and some pork and a bunch of sausages. But the wait is so worth it. You kind of just faff about waiting for it and watching the timer go down, maybe changing some wood chips, but it fills you with anticipation. I mean, last time we used it, I kind of mismanaged the time, or I didn't calculate things correctly, so guests were milling about, dropping careful hints like, so, how long does it take to smoke those things? Is it food time soon? But in the end, everyone was fed and happy. And Boomble says that with the 10 bits and the window with Father, I crave attention. Yes, and here she is. And then Mo says, hi Boomble, and Boomble says, hi Serene, and Wendy says, happy girl. And Serene says Boomble, and Terry with the face side-eye and the patch heart. And Parker with the clapping kitty, oh, and Boomble with 1 bit for 5. Thank you. It's not quite feet, is it? And Mo says, is this Faye too? Yes, this is Faye. And now she's cleaning my arm, because apparently I am a dirty boy. Oski says, oh, and this is Paco with a gigantic Faye face. Side eye. Thank you for the gigantification, Paco. And Oski says, me and my sister and our 5 kids went to Dad and Grandma's grave. Aww. Then we went to our grandma, so he wouldn't have to be alone on Midsummer. Then some of his siblings showed up too. It was a lot of loudness. It's such a sweet sentiment, though, that you visited, and I mean, depending on what belief you subscribe to, doesn't really matter. But just the thought of having communion, so to speak. That's a sweet thought. But then again, family gets loud. I totally get that. And also my head hurting bad. Yeah, that's the thing. Even if you're having fun or having a good time, it's still exhausting. Terry says, Faye loves her beard scratches. Yes, she does. And she loves the taste of my elbow, apparently. Or she really thinks it's dirty. Yes, it's a dirty elbow. Clean my elbow. Thank you. Thank you for your service. Mwah. Oscar says, now I think my new neighbors are midsummer partying. Oh no! Oh, put on some headphones, I guess. Paka says, okay, I need to tell you my thoughts about something silly. I live in a melting pot of all cultures. That's what I was taught. So why the hell do we not party more with all different cultures? Reasons to party. More parties equals more people getting along. I mean, I agree 100%. And personally, I try to enjoy all the reasons for partying that comes along. As long as it doesn't require me to spend too much time around people. No, but I've had some great times joining in on celebrations that aren't necessarily familiar to me or the culture I grew up in. Things like Ramadan, or well, not Ramadan, but the Eid, the feast following Ramadan, or things like what's it called? The Lent. What's it called? Words escape me. I'm not up on my religious phrasings at the moment, but yes, especially for me, being a lover of food, there's so many beautiful traditions that revolves around putting people together around a table and serving delicious food. Some cases, delicious drink, and yeah, I think that's really beautiful. It's the thing that brings most of us together. We're all gotta eat, and we're all having a good time putting tasty things in our mouth. Marcus is interesting. Okay, so I rubbed it with salt, black pepper, garlic, thyme, sage, and rosemary. It's being smoked with mesquite and then cherry, going back and forth between the two. Oh, that sounds delicious. How are you gonna serve it though once it's all cooked? You put it like in a tortilla with some salsa, or are you gonna wrap it up with something else? Personally, I would have like a, well, nowadays I would probably put it like in a mango habanero cilantro type of salsa, maybe some queso, not queso, Oaxaca I guess is the closest thingy, maybe even some feta cheese. I like feta. Windy says, cord is basically in 3 parts. One goes into a charger, one into the laptop, and the last one into the tablet. Could also be something with the charger itself. Mom might not know someone who could maybe fix it. Might just let them and buy a new one if that fails. I mean, if it's not working anyway, so might as well try fixing it, right? But in most cases, in most electronics, on the back it would say, this is the amperage, this is the voltage. Like, I hope this is the case for this laptop as well, otherwise I might look the fool. But this laptop, it says, input 19 volts at 2.1 amps. It says right on the back. 40 watts. So if I were to find something that would fit into this hole, the charger hole, right here, and it could supply 19 volts at 2.1 amps, any charger that can accommodate those requirements would work for this laptop. It doesn't have to be what they sell you, just something that will work with that. So I mean, you could take it to an electronic repair shop and they will tell you the same thing and maybe offer you some alternatives for it. You want to go outside, Faye? You want to go outside there? Let's put you outside. Let's put you outside. Yeah, thank you for listening. When it says Mac, feet, Andreas, thighs. I mean, that's what's on offer, I guess. The pocket says, hubba hubba. Must says, yes. You weirdos. Oh, I love you. Oscar says, Midsummer is usually about being with family, usually eating food. Look, sill och potatis. Sill och potatis och jordgubbstårta. I'd like that. Jordgubbstårta. Sounds good. I love sill and I love potatis. Oscar says, and it was very loud, 5 kids and 470 plus people equals loud. Lol. Yeah, I can imagine. Family is loud. Paco with 1 bit. Good news. I'm getting kitty coins and I figured out why I wasn't getting them. I cannot have another window or tab open at all. If I do, they stop coming, like, say when I was gaming and listening. Oh! That's a weird bug, but I'm so glad you figured it out. Awesome. Oscar says, and I can hear the neighbor's bass a bit. But it's not too bad and the worst of the pain has subsided now. I'm glad to hear it. Aw. Terry says, yeah, celebrations are less fun when you're not feeling well. I understand, Oscar, for you. The patch snuggle duck. Walnut snuggle duck. What's it called? It's called a cuddle duck. Oscar with the cuddle ducks back and Mouse's back. I long for that. Whenever I see different cultures celebration in movies, I feel really at one with them. It's people who care for each other just being chill. I want that too. Yeah. I mean, I've traveled a fair bit in my life, and wherever I've gone, no exceptions, literally no exceptions, wherever I've gone, be it Belgium, France, Albania, Lebanon, wherever I've gone, if I've visited someone, the first thing they've done is they've stuffed me full of delicious food and drink and made me feel welcome. Anywhere I've gone, bar none. And Paco says, gentle hugs to Oscar, windy with the heart to Oscar, and Mousy, warm hugs for Oscar. Oscar is to Paco, Windy and Mousy. Cuddle duck from Patch, and the cookies, nom nom nom. And Oscar says, mango with meats, so good. It is, isn't it? It's delicious. Mousy says, it's our meat for this week and will be served in many ways, definitely taco style, some chili, straight up slices, maybe a stew. I like that. That's usually how Mac and I do it too. We will prepare a big chunk of meat and then we'll have like 3 different ways of preparing it because it's just the 2 of us most of the time, and preparing a bigger chunk of meat makes more sense. Paco says, starts to run up a tree with his cookie, then spins around and cuts up to Oscar while nomming. Oscar says, mango is great for getting a sweet, that mix of sweet, spicy, and tangy. Yeah, it's and it plays very well with chili, I find. Especially like habanero is already sort of floral. So if you put it with the wrong thing, it's like, ugh, who put perfume in my food? But if you put it with, like, say mango, it will complement it and be like, oh, it belongs. Aska says Baka snugglies, and Baka you get more cookies. Baka says Snuggles Askefru and nods quietly. Aska says we're only being weird for the bit. Yes, yes. Don't know the context, but yes. Baka says good news, I read that. Good to hear, Baka. Glad we figured that out. Now you can redeem your hugs. Finally. Baka with the hearts and the cuddles and the dino dances and the tents. And Winnie says, I'm not really keen on letting them touching it, to be honest. Last time someone who mom knew who are tech savvy touched something of mine, the deleted picture from a camera took a picture of a crystal placed on a flashlight and slightly broke the camera. Refused to pay to get fixed because it was already broken. Yeah, no, only do that if it's already broken and it's your last ditch effort. No, don't go to family friends. I think more like go to a repair shop that do these things professionally, but not necessarily official. You know, you have you have people that will fix your iPhone, but they're not Apple. They'll do a perfectly fine job, but you don't get the Apple warranty and those sorts of things. Oscar says, the neighbors in question just moved in early this week, and since midsummer I won't hold them partying against them. We also have this thing here where we're often fine with loud partying neighbors if it doesn't happen all the time. Yeah, it's sort of like in Norway, where we know that sometimes people are gonna have a good time, and if it's during a time where it's expected, then Oscar says, I have a pineapple habanero spice rub in my spice cupboard. Ooh yeah, pineapple as well goes very well with habanero. Because habaneros, I find they can be a little too perfumey, a little too floral. But with some fruits like pineapple or mangoes, they work beautifully. Baka says, someone in the house, not me, maybe the mousey or the kittens, don't like spicy food. So I have to be careful. I mean, if it's not you, who could it be? It could be anyone, right? Anyone? Maybe? Baka says, very careful. Says, Mac and I are kind of spirits in that regard. Not even one spice. Yeah, no, it's some palates are broken beyond repair. Wendy says, no, Paco says the reply to it. I'm pissed off for you. And not Nathan says, hello, hi Nathan. Mas says, hola. And Paco says, waves. And Oscar says to Paco, this particular spice is more the flavor of the spicy, so I like it. Yeah, I have a few different ones. I have a few different ones that I use in cooking that, when mixed with other things, are really flavorful, not spicy. I like spicy, but not hot spices. Yeah, that's the thing. It's really different. The flavor of a chili and the heat of a chili, I mean, they both play into the sensation, but if it's not a tasty chili, I don't want it. Because some of it can be very abrasive. But, yeah, I also like the heat though. Heat's good. I should finish this up and finish the stream, because I've been on for almost 3 hours and I've done nothing. But thank you guys for hanging out. Yeah, I'll focus on this for a little bit, and then we'll probably call it a night. I mean, I'm brewing I don't know if this idiom translates, but I'm brewing a pea break. Does that translate into English? Norwegians, jeg brygger på, which means I'm brewing. And it means you have something on the way. Yes, I have a pea break on the way, but I figure I might as well just tough it out and finish this thing. And overlays to it. Wendy says, yeah, I was pretty pissed, mostly about the pictures, because I couldn't get those back, yeah. They also ate a big chunk of a cake I made for the next day. Oh. Oh. Sorry, I just didn't see that going that way. I also ate a big chunk of cake I made for the next day, my dad's birthday. Mom was fixing something and came back to them eating cake and claimed I said it was okay. She sent them home after knowing that I'd be pissed about that. This was before we knew the camera had been I'm sorry, I don't mean to laugh. That's just so absurd. Someone saying, oh, I'm an expert, I'll fix it. And then they break it and take a picture of a crystal and then eat cake and escapes? That's unhinged. Moses says, what dicks? I agree. And then Paka says, again, pissed off for you. Agreed. Wendy says, I honestly want to like spicy food, but alas, I have the spice tolerance of a houseplant. Well, most of our houseplants are chili plants, so Parker Valley says, sweat. The pea break is loading, and Mas says, Parker says, I am low battery at the moment, just like every other Friday. Oh, no worries. Just make sure you rest in whatever way gives you the most energy. Tibo Tube says, hi boys! Hi Tibo! It's just boy today. Max having a mental health day. But hopefully this will suffice for now. Wendy says, we luckily don't have any contact with them anymore. The last time I saw them, they complained to Mom that I was rude. Why was I rude? Busted them in trying to eat another cake I'd made. I mean, this sounds like a sitcom. It sounds like someone being a bit challenged in the mental type of way. Mouse says, hi Tibo, and Tibo says, how's everyone's Friday? We're doing alright. I mean, we haven't drawn much drawing these last 3 hours, but I've done some talking, I've done some reading. Parker says, it's always rude when you don't let someone take advantage of you. Growling. Yeah, you know, be rude. Stand up for yourself. Be rude. I'm also low battery, cuddles, and Wendy says, it felt like I was in one of those prank videos. Exactly, that's the vibe I was getting. Parker says, uh-oh, BRB, Mouse and I aren't here a moment. Oh, no worries. Hope everything is alright. That I'm gonna quickly try to render some bareness into this hand-furred bear. I'm starting to get gaming requests, which means we're heading towards the end of the stream. Man, this type of scenario really highlights the value of having Mac beside me in trying to navigate this stream. I don't do well with attentions being divided. Then again, we do have some sort of pan-furred werebear. It passes the vibe check, does it not? It is a werebear, and it is pan-colored, so in my book, that is what was that was the order, and that was what was delivered. And I'm sure you lovely people agree with me. Of course you do, because you're so lovely. Right? Yes, you're lovely. His feet are a little cursed, but just focus on the top part. And Paco with the virtual hug. Thank you, Paco. Oscar says, I watched a prank video like that once. And Wendy says, this is not speed read, this is speed rendering. Yes, I'm doing my best. I mean, it says, that's such a buff werebear. I love it. I'm glad you like it. Thank you. Oscar says, a man had made a cake for the neighbor's son or something, and then she comes home, or a mom, and then she comes home to find her son eating the cake straight out of the box. And she says, ooh, have fun with games later. Thank you. I will do my best. I'm tired, so the warzoning might not be the best, but I'll do my best. When he says, oh damn, to Oscar, and then Terry says, you're doing very well from doing this all by yourself, Andreas. Oh, and Windy with virtual card. There you go. And thank you, Terry, I appreciate that. And Oscar says, but him and his friends had made a whole other cake to look the same or close enough for to the one his mom made. And we're eating that to scare her. Oh, yeah, that toes the line for me, or it edges on being cruel. But as long as the original was intact, then I don't know. I feel with the mom, and I also feel her relief when it was revealed that it was a prank. Asuka says, it was funny. It sounds funny, and as long as no one's hurt in the end, that's the important thing. And Paka with the stare, and Asuka's back. And says, welcome back. Hope everything's alright. And Mousy with the patched cuddle duck. And Paka, I need one. All the hugs. Here you go. Asuka to Paka and Mousy, you guys okay? Yeah, I was wondering the same thing. And Wendy says, at least they hadn't eaten hers. That's good. I would have grounded that kid for years if it was a real cake. Yeah, exactly. Mousy says, it's a combo for private, but we are okay. Oh, good to know. Good to know. Paka says, I will take this private with you. Yeah. Hopefully it's nothing too major. And it was only a scare, whatever it was. Asuka says to Mousy and Paka, Snuggle Patch, or I need to learn the name of this. That's it. Cuddle Duck. That's the one. Cuddle Duck. Mousy says, I'm with you, Andreas. I don't like being pranks. Yeah, no. If pranks become mean, it's just bullying. Pranks should be lighthearted and fun, and to have a ta-da ending where everything's okay, not like I punched you in the face, haha, prank. Now you're gonna live with the bruise. That's not a prank. Winnie says, giving you 2 hugs, Mousy and Paka. Yes, hugs to Mousy and Paka. Terry says, I often feel that pranks are just too mean and hurting people. I really don't like that. Yeah, same. If you're gonna do a prank where someone thinks something bad is happening and then you turn it around and they feel, oh, it's nothing bad, it's all good, and everyone can have a laugh about it. If not everyone can have a laugh about it, then it's not a successful prank. In my opinion, of course. Let's give you this. The mom was used to her son playing pranks. I think she's more frustrated than angry. Yeah. She got to eat the cake too after. And that's gotta count for something, I guess. I says, cuddle cuddle. And I says, on the Great North, one of the characters does nice pranks, and I love it. Yeah, I mean, I love nice pranks. Like, what was the one I saw the other day on the social medias? Where there was someone who would meet random people in the street, take their hand and do a twirl like a dance, and then just keep moving and everyone smiled. That's the fun kind of prank. And says, like, I'm gonna mend all his clothes while he's gone. Yeah, that's a fun one. That's just wholesome. That's just wholesome. Stop calling me, I'm streaming. Yeah, my brothers are getting impatient. So maybe this is the point where I say that this is my S's today. This. I say that this is good enough, and we'll call that a Parker O. Ellis, and we'll call this a stream. If you disagree, speak up or forever hold your peace. No, either way, we're gonna call it a night here. Let's go. Parker O. Ellis. Hope that's how you write your nickname. That's what we're getting in those. You probably dismiss all of this. There we go. Let's catch up. Oh, there's an ad break. Let's pretend we're listening to one of Rice's beautiful musical pieces for this. Yeah. Rocket Rice, yeah. Oh, we have 10 more seconds of ads. Alright, let's see. Moses says Cuddle Cuddle in the Great North, I read that, and then his clothes. Windows says, that's the best kind of pranks, yay. Mark says, I saw a video of someone dancing in Walmart and some people danced with him. It was so wholesome and so happy to see. Yes, that's a good kind of prank, where something is unexpectedly good instead of unexpectedly bad. I mean, I can tolerate a little dip into unexpectedly good. I mean, unexpectedly bad if it tilts back up into being unexpectedly good after the fact. Mouse says, love that shit. Agreed. Winnie says, again, have fun gaming. Thank you, I will. Oh, I'll do my best. And there's the stair. And Parker Ellis with the little noted. And Windy with the Dino Dance. And Mousy with the Bang Boo Bounce. And yeah, with that, I say thank you so much for hanging out, guys. It's not been a traditional stream. It might have been less focused, less drawy, more ranty. But I've enjoyed hanging out with you guys, and hopefully we'll be back to our regular scheduled programming ASAP. And let's see. We have Cookies and Hearts from Aske, Parker with the Headbanging Kirby, and Mouse. We love you, Andreas, never forget. Thank you, Mousy. I love you too. And Terry says, have fun gaming and please give our love to Mac. I shall. And if you weren't here earlier, I also was instructed to give all of you all the love and all the hugs from Mac. So if you didn't catch that earlier, I say it again. Mac sends his love to all of you. When Parker, the Lilo or the Stitch, that's the Stitch. And then Windy with it's been a constant stream and Parker says bye everyone, peace, love, health, wealth, and knowledge to self, of self, to one and all. It has cause, it's the exact vibe. Cozy, maybe? Exactly. Stay safe, cuddle back, and take care of each other. Will do. Cozy, nice. Windy says bye everyone, have a good night, good day, night, and Mouse good night, night, and Mouse says mwah. And with that, mwah, be kind to yourselves, or I, and Mac, well, and that is a threat.